Hello, everybody. Just bear with me as I share this out to my Facebook feed. Okay. Okay, everybody. Welcome back. Francesco here from Movement Monastery, and I wanted to sum up a lot of our soft floor acrobatics floor work with this part of the live series to go over how to roll over. Now, this is a very wide, vast system. Some of it I get from Bartinieff fundamentals, some of it I get just from playing around the floor. But this particular way is a very easy, soft way for you to get over rolling around back and forth on the floor. And no better way than just to practice it. It's also great for if you're just not feeling super explosive one day and you want to work on some softer movement. That's why all this stuff is here for you. Okay? So let's get straight to it. This stuff's going to go from the X position. Some of it we covered in part 1, but we're going to cover it again now, and we're going to be moving a little bit further through the movement itself. So this one, if you remember, is the X position, where you lay on your back, your legs are out, just relaxed out to the side, and your arms are up like that. If you see this from the side, it looks like this, and if you see it from the back, it looks like this. Okay? Now, from the back position here, I'm going to explain what the arms do first. There are several pathways the arms can take to get you to roll over. One is the pathway of the arms can go over the top until it crosses the midline and starts to pull you over to the other side. Remember, we don't want to initiate the hips to go until they're getting pulled by the arm. At some point, you're going to reach the maximum limit of your mobility, and then at that point, you start to pull yourself over. Imagine you're reaching for something over there that you want to grab, okay? So you have that side, and the same thing with this one, you have that side as well, right? The same thing applies for the legs. If I'm here, the leg can go across, and when it reaches its maximum limit, it starts to pull the knee and the hip with it, and then it starts pulling the rest of the body with it as well. And then again, other side, that side pulls with it as much as possible, over like that. If we were on our stomach, like so, the same thing would apply. I'm in the X like this, my arm reaching across my body here, eventually gets to a limit, and then it starts to pull me over the top like that. This side, same thing, gets to a limit and starts to pull me over at the top like that. I'm starting to spiral. Or the legs, same exact thing. The leg would go across, and it would pull me across that way. Okay, and then I would start to come over like that, or the other leg would pull this way and spiral me over and pull me that way. So they all do exactly the same thing. So we're going to do that a couple of times where it pulls you front to back, just reaching over the top with the arm and the leg. Okay, so let's start from the X position here. From here, okay, the arm pulls over the top, crosses the midline, causes me to tip over, and then I get into my X like that. Okay, same exact thing going back. Arm goes across, up, 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 and pulls me back like that. Okay, leg. Leg goes across, pulls me across, all the way over to here. Leg would pull me back, here, across, all the way back to my X. Now, the next way, okay, these are all very similar. Just think of them as initiations that help you move over. Okay, the arm can pass downward. Okay, it can pass downward from the side. That looks like it's passing downward like this. Okay, and when it passes downward, then it reaches across to the other side in a similar fashion, and then it would pull you over. Okay, it reaches downward and it pulls you over. So instead of reaching across over the top, now it is reaching underneath and across that way. Okay? If I fully flip over from that, it goes underneath, pulls, and then I come to here, right? Same thing going backward. It can reach behind me this way. Okay, coming across, reaching behind me, pulls me down to there. Okay? So it can reach under and pull me across, and it can reach under and pull me back. Like that, both directions. The legs don't change a whole lot from that. All right, they still go straight across that way. You can come up and across like this, but it takes more energy to do so, and we're trying to stay on topic with things that keep your body on the ground, tracing on the ground, staying weighted on the ground. We're trying to stay with that for this particular session. The next part here, after you have that, you have over the top, you have underneath, and then of course you have straight across, like that, which is just a rendition or differentiation between over the top, underneath, reaching straight across the chest. It can pull you over to here. And the same thing going back. Again, this is a little more energy, but it can pull up to the side like that. However, when it starts to go this direction and you're going straight over, then something has to change, and that's what this next part is here. And this is actually kind of how babies kind of figure out how to flip themselves over, okay? So one of the things you're going to be doing here is if you're on your stomach from this position, is you want to feel what it's like to lift your arms off the ground, your head off the ground, and your legs off the ground. So you want to be able to hold this position in an arc position like that. You're not trying to go super straight, too strenuous for this kind of movement. We want to think about lifting with minimal effort. Right? I'm here, lift my head up, arm up, legs up just a little bit. You'll feel a little bit of contraction in the muscles in the back to do that. Same thing for when you're on your back here. You want to be able to arms off, head up, and legs up. And that's all you really need to have as far as the amount of strength to lift you off the ground. Okay, you don't have to be using a hollow shape like this, like in tumbling and gymnastics. That is all built upon this, but you just want to be able to bring yourself off the ground a little bit. So just with minimal effort, be able to pull everything off the ground, head off the ground, and then be able to bring the legs off the ground just a little bit. Okay? That's the next part here, is knowing how to do that. Now, with this next one, what's going to happen is that you're learning how to flip yourself over. So in order to do that, what happens with that is that if I'm down here flat, if I lengthen one side of my body, okay, and then contract the other side of my body like so, what that does is then allows me to roll over the lengthened side of my body, like that, and then I come back. If I want to come back the other direction, same thing applies. I lengthen one side of my body, I contract the other side of my body, and then that gives me a pathway to pull everything over to the other side. Okay? Show you from the side here. From here, if I lengthen one side of my body, okay, and I contract the other side of my body, then that gives me a pathway to roll over this side to come over that way. Okay? Same thing here. Lengthen one side of my body, contract the other, and over to here. Okay? Now, yes, I can also pull in, like so, and come over this way, like that, but then this traps my arm, and I have to know how to get out of that, and that's a different technique. Okay? It's a different one. We're just thinking about simplicity here and lengthening the one side of the body. Okay? So we can do multiples of those across the floor. If I want to go across the floor multiple times rolling, I think about the lengthening side of my body. You can also think of this about not just lengthening, but you're reaching to grab something, okay? Think about what a baby thinks about. They just want to get something. Trying to get their favorite toy, trying to get something to eat, all right? Or trying to go after something they see over there. They're reaching for it. That's part of how this movement develops. So, if I think about lengthening one side of my body, okay? Contracting the other side of my body. So lengthening here, and then I can even use my leg to assist me a little bit, but most of this is just going toward that side, and then the other side lengthens, and the other side lengthens, and the other side lengthens as I go across the floor. 1, 2, 3, going back the other direction. If I go from here, okay, lengthening, contracting, other side, coming back to here, right? Boom, 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 right? So you have several ways of getting yourself across the floor. You have the lengthening, which helps you roll over. You have from the X position here, the leg going across and pulling you over. And then you also have the arm going over, under, or across this way. That can pull you over to the other side. And of course from your back, the same exact thing applies. From here, okay, the arm can pull over that way, it can pull over this way. Okay, and then as we just learned, if we want to go laterally, okay, we can go laterally like this. Okay, and then the leg goes across like that to spiral you over. So that's all I got for you in this one. You're going to start to see now some different patterns emerge when we start doing these other types of videos like this, because we're going to be going into kind of more trickier patterns that require a little more attention. So let me know if you have any questions about that, and you all have a great day. Keep moving. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And live.